Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me this Wednesday evening for Wellness Wisdom. I'm going to wait a few minutes to let people pop on. If anybody does, if people don't pop on, I'm still doing this presentation because it's important that we understand what aromatherapy is. It's not just perfume. It's not just to make our house smell good or anything like that. It really is a therapy. So we need to address some very serious topics around this. Hello, how are you? So glad to see you here with me, Miss Carrie Gardner. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a long, long time. I hope things are going good for you. Thanks for that little starburst. Woo. I'm exhausted, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a very long day, and just to get you caught up, if you're not connected with me and seeing what's going on right now, I've got a ton of stuff going on. Not only am I seeing regular clients and all that good stuff, but I'm also moving. Yes, ma'am. I'm headed back to here in Montana where the skies are amazing and the forests are amazing and living there, just I wish I never had left, to be honest, but I needed to come here. Some things needed to happen and they did, and now I'm headed back to Heron so that I can feel supported in the work that I'm doing, which right now includes creating a fabulous 4-day retreat for y'all. So stay tuned for details on that. Awesome, Carrie. Awesome. Glad to hear it, hon. Well, let's see. We are a couple of minutes into this, and I'm just going to get started. So Carrie knows me. Okay, Carrie's been following me for a while. But if you are new to this channel, thank you so much for popping in. My name is Reverend Hope Suggett. I am a facilitator at Your Essential Spirit Quest. And I've also revived the Wise Women Pathways page on Facebook. I have things to tell you. So over the weekend, if you go and take a look at that page, you will see an update on what's going on with it and why after all these years I've revived it and brought it back. We are at crossroads here where change is happening, and I just really wanted another avenue for supporting people through that. But I will talk more about all that this weekend. So yeah, keep them busy, keep them busy. But I'm never too busy to teach y'all a little something and to be here for you when you need to reach out and get some definitive answers about your life challenges so that you can make some amazing informed decisions instead of just reacting. You know, we're such a reactive species. We, just like our other mammal friends, by the way, I have a cat on my lap. So just like our other mammal friends, we tend to react to life stressors, but we are sentient, cognitive, blessed beings, and we need to have that insight so that we can make some very informed decisions and get the life that we want. So anywho's, let me just launch right into what I want to say. But first I want to just put a disclaimer out there, and I'm going to have to add it to the description of this video so that everybody knows I am not a doctor. Okay, I am not a healthcare professional in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not making any claims that aromatherapy cures everything, okay, and that this is where you need to go to affect some cures in your life and things like that. My approach to aromatherapy and a lot of other therapies is around metaphysical applications. Metaphysical applications, because what we do in the spirit realm, in the energy realm, does leak out into our physical world, and it will impact, okay? So aromatherapy is just another tool to do that. And a lot of people don't understand exactly even how aromatherapy works. They just think that it's just a great little smell and it'll make them feel good and feel better. And all this other kind of stuff, but each one of the aromatherapy, essential oils, resins, all these things that we're using have specific purposes, okay? And it would behoove us to understand what those purposes are, how they are affecting us when we are inhaling them, okay? And how we can do it properly so that we can get the most effective use out of our very expensive essential oils, okay? These babies are not cheap. And so if you are buying essential oils for cheap, very little money, I would encourage you to stop that practice because it's probably not a high quality essential oil. It's probably leaning more towards the fragrance side of essential oils. Okay, so be aware of that. Go find yourself some trusted brands and stick with them and work with them, okay? So having said all that, again, I am not a doctor. None of what I'm going to say today is to supersede anything your clinician has advised for you. In fact, I would ask you to not take up any aromatherapy practices if you are pregnant and breastfeeding, if you have allergic reactions from any of the things that are out there. And sometimes you don't know until you've applied them or smelled them, okay? So just be aware that you can have an allergic reaction. And we'll talk more about that as we get into our little chat. And I wrote some notes. I got 4 pages of notes, y'all. So anywho, I guess we better get started. So the physiological science around aromatherapy really is not thoroughly understood. I will just start with that right now. It is not a mainstream science. Nobody's really researching it. Nobody knows how, how smelling something and can trigger, a brain frequency or a certain vibration within us and affect positive change, including healing. Okay, nobody knows how that works, all right? But it works. And here's my hypothesis. Here's my little theory on how all that happens. I feel that plant life, the only way that they can connect to us and to deliver the medicine that we're asking for is through ingestion, okay? And sometimes that ingestion is through our skin, which is the largest organ in our body, or it's through our nose. When we inhale something, we are ingesting it, okay? It's going into our bloodstream. It's not just a nice smell. It really is going into our body, all right? And so those are the delivery methods for plant life. And so that is what I think of aromatherapy as being. It's just another avenue for getting it into our body where it can affect some positive changes, okay? So keep that in mind as we continue. Okay, are you leaving? Okay, bye-bye. Now I can sit more comfortably. Oh, yay. Because once you have a cat on your lap, you can't move. Anyways, that's the law. Anyways, so aromatherapy, it triggers scent receptors in our nose, which then are relayed to our brain, and our brain understands how those connections with medicine works, and it just starts shooting these signals throughout our entire body. Okay, now you can kind of like imagining this happening even in just your daily life. When you smell a certain smell, it elicits an emotional response, and that emotional response is your energy vibration. It is what is responding to that scent, whether it be baking bread or cooking onions or the smell of gasoline. It's kind of funny how certain smells just really trigger a psychological response in us, okay? when we do this consciously through very high quality oils and other resins and things like that, then we are getting a very powerful response in our body to that vibration. We start aligning with it because we've ingested it, even if it's through smell, okay? So the messages sent and received are based on the vibration of the sender, which is the scent, okay? And the receiver, which is your intention or need, all right? Now just follow me here. I could smell rose and get one type of a healing modality happening. You can smell rose and get something entirely different. That vibration of rose is going to affect us all differently based on our need and our intention for it. Okay. So the scent is the scent. That's not ever going to change. Okay. However, the receiver's intention and need is always subjective to the individual. That's why what smells great to one person may be repulsive to another. It just may smell like caca. I could say, oh, I love lavender. And somebody else will go, no, hate it, no lavender for me. So another thing I want you to understand about aromatherapy is that it doesn't need to be dispersed by the gallon. Aromatherapy is vibrational. It's smell, don't get me wrong, but it's also vibrational. And you only need a few drops of it. Okay, so don't go feeling like you have to, pour half your bottle of essential oil into a carrier oil in order for it to be impactful. It doesn't need that. It's similar to homeopathic medicine. Okay, for homeopathic medicine, you only need a little microscopic little drop in order to elicit a response, a healing response in the body. The same goes for aromatherapy. You only need a drop. And I also want to just say, and I forgot to say this earlier, that if you have any questions or comments, just pop on at any time and ask them. This goes for you, Carrie, and it goes for anybody who's watching this in replay, okay? So anywho's, when I make my Toxfizz blends for shamanic energy purposes, I also factor in the vibration of numbers, planetary energies. So much goes into it. Aromatherapy should not be taken lightly. If you're going to be using it, use it with knowledge and specific intention. All right, we talk a lot about intention and how we have to have clarity of intention. And why do you think that is? Why is that so important to have an intention and have clarity of intention around it? It's I will answer that question for you. It is because it is the foundation for everything that happens afterwards. How are you going to be able to select the correct oils if you don't know exactly what you're trying to attain? Okay. So always go into this aromatherapy practice mindful, being very mindful about your intention and about the safety of actually working with these oils. Okay, now I'm going to be honest with you. Essential oils are very powerful, and I don't just mean vibrationally, I mean they're toxic. Okay, they're that powerful. You cannot safely apply a drop of oil to your skin without risking damage to your skin. Let's just take thyme oil, for instance. They use thyme essential oil in its pure form to remove skin tags. So if a drop of thyme oil on the skin tag can burn it right off, then you know that the same could be said if you just like anoint yourself with it, or it's dangerous, you guys. So you always have to use a carrier oil with them or other things. And we're going to talk about those as well. But mainly what I want to try to impress upon you is don't go thinking that you have to flood your senses with scents. You only need a drop or two. Okay, you only need a drop or two. So let's see. Looking. So what I brought up my top Swiss practice for is to let you know that sometimes a client will say, "Well, gosh, I can barely smell it," and I'm like, "You don't need to have it hit you in the head. You only need this subtle smell." Okay, so it's the vibration of that scent and the response that it elicits that makes it so powerful, not the actual oomph of the scent itself. Okay. All right, let me just turn the page. Yes, I say here, do not douse yourself in fragrance in order to get the benefits of the scent. You just need a very small amount. Remembering that will help you when you go to make your own blends. You won't just burn through a lot of essential oils needlessly. For one thing, like I said before, they're expensive, okay? And it will also, when you remember this, it will also help you to be mindful of your intention and that that's what you're trying to get, not to make your own perfume blend. Okay, there's plenty of time and space for that. Okay, but this isn't what aromatherapy is all about. So, aromatherapy, it comes from plants, including trees, flowers, fruits, berries, vegetables, and herbs. It also comes from resin, which is tree and plant sap. It also can contain crystallized honey and plant concentrations. Okay, plant concentrations are also sometimes like dried down. I'm thinking like dragon's blood, for instance. Okay, that's a plant concentration. It's been dried, it's been pressed, it's then you grind it up in your mortar pedestal and put that in your aromatherapy blend. So all of those are part of the aromatherapy family of essences that we work with, okay? So here's some things that you really need to keep in mind when you are starting an aromatherapy practice, okay? Go organic and as pure as possible. Try not to buy diluted essential oils or any that have been adulterated in any kind of way. You want to go as pure as possible and organic, okay? Because keep in mind, this is going into your body, and so you want it to be the purest form that you can possibly get. Only mix your essential oils with organic carrier oils such as jojoba, sweet almond, olive oil, cocoa butter, coconut oil, either fractionated or which stays liquid. That's only what fractionated means, that it will stay in its liquid form. Or you can also put essential oils into some melted unrefined, coconut oil. It will solidify, but you can always melt it again just by rubbing the bottle around in your hands or breathing on it or running it under some hot tap water. Absolutely do not microwave your carrier oil or your essential oil. The microwave will kill the healing properties. Okay, so do double boiler type stuff. There's all kinds of different ways that you can make this happen without microwaving. Do not microwave your oils, okay? Promise me, because you're just wasting it. It might still smell good, but it won't have any of the sweet stuff that you really want when you are working with aromatherapy, okay? Let's see. Or you can make your own aromatherapy water. It's also called hydrosol water, okay? This happens through the distillation process. They've got tons of distillers on the market. I bought one for water to distill water, and I'm using it now to make my own hydrosols, okay? And you just put your plant, lots of it, your plant material in the bottom of your distiller and put the water in the top and let it do its thing, and out comes some yummy hydrosol water, some aromatherapy. You can also go to specialty stores or even the liquor store of all places and get rose water or orange water. Those two are two of my favorite to work with. And I also like working with a Bach flower um, blend there. It's just a base. They call it cologne, but it's not cologne. But it's Bach. It's based on the Bach flower people, and I love this stuff. I mix some oils in that, and also Florida water. Excuse my label. It got some essential oil spilled on it. But Florida water is also a good base for making your aromatherapy blends because these are already I'm not going to say perfumed, but they've got plant essences in them. And they're highly, highly vibrating. I know a lot of shaman that use this Florida water for cleaning, purifying, as well as blessing. So again, it just goes with their intent, how they're going to use that. So you can do that. Let's see, if you use water, whether it's this kind of water or just purified water from a bottle, okay, if you do any of that, you are going to have to refrigerate your aromatherapy, or you're going to have to add a few drops of maybe some vodka to it, or vitamin E or grapefruit seed oil. Not grapefruit oil, grapefruit seed oil, okay? Those three things tend to act as a preservative. And if you are feeling kind of weird about the whole using alcohol, that's fine. Go get yourself some vitamin E capsules, prick them, and squeeze those in there. Vitamin E is a great preservative. And like I said, grapeseed oil as well. Excuse me, grapefruit seed oil. If you refrigerate it, make sure that you use your product up in like 5 to 7 days, okay? Or again, add those preservatives. The vodka and the vitamin E and grapefruit seed oil will not alter the scent or the vibration of your aromatherapy. So don't worry about that. In fact, it might even increase the vibration of it. So let's see. Moving right along, you can also infuse pure grain alcohol or a high quality vodka with your essential oils, just straight up like that. Just drop the oil straight into that vodka or that pure grain alcohol, and boom, you've got yourself a powerful, powerful spray. Let's see. So I typically use those kinds of herbal concoctions as a base for other aromatherapy blends that I'm making, the remedies, especially around energy clearing. Vodka and pure grain alcohol are highly vibrating for clearing space, okay? So say like you love the idea of smudging with sage, but you can't tolerate the smoke. Get yourself some sage essential oil and put it in some vodka and spray your space with that. It would still work just as well. Trust me on that. Let's see, energy clearing, protection, creating barriers, and erasing energy. Okay, so yeah, play around with that as a base for your aromatherapy. Aromatherapy comes in all different forms. It's not just oils. You start out with essential oils, okay, but you can put them in water, you could put them in alcohol, you could put them in uh, unlimited number of carrier oils. You just need to make sure that they are organic and pure. So don't go to your grocery store and yank a bottle of corn oil off the shelf and think that that's going to make a great carrier oil for you. It will not. Okay. So I use extra virgin olive oil that is expeller pressed and unfiltered. I try to get even my carrier oils to be as pure as they possibly can be. Just crush the oil and give it to me. Just a minute, I'm gonna cough. Allergies. Excuse me. So before we go actually into the essential oils, do you have any questions about what I just said regarding the safety of using them, how to use them in different ways with hydrosols and other liquids, and anything, any questions yet that you have come up with? You just pop them right into this so that I can answer them for you. Otherwise, we are going to move on to the actual essential oil part of it. Now, I've touched a little bit on, how powerful they are and how dangerous they can be if you use them straight up and everything. So let's just dive deeper into that, all right? I'll tell you off right now, and this is just reiterating, but it's so important to remember the essential oils are not safe to use undiluted. They're just not, okay? You must dilute them in something. That's why they come in such little bitty bottles and cost so much. It's because they're so highly concentrated, okay? So always make sure that you're using a organic and pure carrier oil for them. The internet is full of references to the healing properties of essential oils. I'm not going to go through them all. I do have a little handful of some of my favorites right here with me in case I want to grab one and talk to you about it. But it's important that you do due diligence on your research for your essential oils. Don't go willy-nilly going, well, I just want to make some aromatherapy, so let me just grab some water and a few bottles and let's get to mixing and matching, because some oils are contradictory. You could be using a blend thinking that you are creating the most beautiful healing experience for yourself when really those oils, essences are just combating each other, okay? You don't need combating energies, all right? It just kind of muddles your intention around what you're using it for. So always make sure that you are doing due diligence on your research and try to keep your blends between 1 and 5 oils. After that, they kind of get a little muddy, okay? You're putting too much into it, all right? Leave a little space for universe to also affect the energy that you're trying to call in with this. So don't go overboard with how many scents that you want to bring in. It'll just really kind of make things murky, so to speak, okay? So for instance, I wrote down some examples. I caution you not to use competing energies, like don't mix mint, which is uplifting and refreshing, with frankincense. I mean, those two would just combat each other because frankincense pulls you down, calms you, grounds you, and mint uplifts you and makes you, so highly energetic and everything. So those would be competing energies. So avoid that. And again, you don't need a lot of essential oils to get the job done. Stick with up to 5 different essences. And if you want to include more, put your oil blend, all the oils that you want to work with in a scented hydrosol. So say like you want to increase love in your life, love on all levels, okay? Not only would you be wanting to put in maybe some myrrh and some gosh, a little bit of patchouli or a lang lang and lavender. If you want to work with all of those scents, put them in a rose water hydrosol. make that your base so that rose becomes the foundation, and then all these other essences just add to it. Okay, does that make sense? Just try to keep the actual essential oils to a little small collection, so to speak. Now, if you want to add even more oomph to your aromatherapy, you can make sure that you use your carrier oil with intention, okay? So I have sweet almond right here. I use it to potentiate the essential oils, all right? Much like clear quartz does for other crystals. Clear quartz potentiates the energies of other crystals. Sweet almond acts just like that by potentiating all of the energies of your other essential oils, okay? Sunflower oil will uplift the spirit and speeds up the manifestation of your desires. Jojoba kind of acts like the god Ganesh. Okay, Ganesh is renowned for removing obstacles. People tend to pray to him to remove the obstacles to their real prayers. Okay, so before they say their prayers, they'll say, "Hey Ganesh, will you please remove any obstacles that stand in the way of my prayers being answered?" So then they do their prayer. Well, jojoba oil kind of acts like that. That as a carrier oil kind of like dissipates anything that would stand in the way of your essential oils affecting your desired results. Okay, so keep that in mind. There's others. Olive oil is known for prosperity and good luck and health. I got a cat on my lap again, so that's what I'm looking at. Huh, honey? Oh, here's her tail. So yeah, so olive oil is also a good one. If you're doing a money spell, grab some olive oil. All right, but just make sure it's a good one. Let's see. When you are doing your aromatherapy, you want to make sure that you have like paper towel down, that you are in a calm state, that you're not creating this out of frustration, anger, fear, anything like that, because the energy that you put into your tools reflects on the energy that you're going to be getting back. Okay, that's just how energy works. So make sure that you're always approaching aromatherapy from a state of calmness, okay? Add them drop by drop. Now, this is where clarity of intention really helps, because while you're working on that clarity, you can also just kind of tap into your own intuition about how many drops of this I need, how many drops of that I need. You can do that. You could turn to numerology for it. You can turn to planetary energies and all of that. Now, listen, all of this sounds like it might be too much. I really need to do a whole class on this, and I will if you go to the 2021 Divine Feminine Shamanic Retreat. There's a whole workshop around creating your own signature aromatherapy blend that supports your intention to practice self-care as a sacred act, okay? You'll be making that oil in the workshop after you do a shamanic journey, where you will have some opportunities to really fine-tune what your intention is and get clarity on that. So when you sit down to create your oil, you will already kind of like know exactly where to go. You may not cognitively in your head know, but your spirit will, and you'll just start reaching for just the right oils, just the right carrier oils. We'll talk about numbers, we'll talk about planets, we'll talk about all of that, okay? So anyway, it's going to be an exciting workshop, and I wish that I could do it right here with you on YouTube, but I just don't have a studio situation for that. I don't have various camera angles and editing equipment and stuff like this. This, what I'm doing now, this wellness wisdom is all about encouraging you to practice aromatherapy, but to do it in such a way that you get the most out of it, okay? So a lot of this work you're going to have to do on your own, the research and all of that. I'm just giving you some ideas, all right? And I want you to run with them. So you can also, let me get, oh, that's cat hair off my face. You can further enhance your aromatherapy blend with crystals, with sound, with like singing bowls, cymbals, drumming, rattling. Put the vibration of sound into it. You can use the energy of the full moon, either when you're making your hydrosol or just charging your aromatherapy blend itself. Put that under the full moon. You can channel energy from other realms, like from angels, fairies, dragons, and other elementals. You can call these entities to you and channel that energy through your own hands into your aromatherapy blend. I mean, listen, if you are going to go through the trouble of buying all the equipment and supplies and stuff like that, also go through the trouble of putting as much energy as you can into your aromatherapy blend. Why half step it? You know, you're just wasting a wonderful opportunity for making a beautiful, beautiful tool. Aromatherapy is a tool to help you. So put as much into it as you can with your energy and your intention, okay? And you can also use prayer. Simple, heartfelt, sincere, earnest prayer. And just pray over your aromatherapy and put that in it. Instruct it. Tell it what its job is, okay? Now, before you do all that, before you call in your angels and your spirit team and all of that to help you channel energy into your aromatherapy blend, make sure that you surround yourself with energetic protection. I teach this a lot. I teach you to surround yourself with protection when you meditate, when you are doing cord cutting or grounding, when you're preparing for spell crafting, when you are doing any kind of work that allows your consciousness to elevate and to connect with the higher realms. You want to make sure that you are protected first, okay? So I do have a little video that shows you how 3 easy steps on how to prepare yourself for that. But you got to promise me that you're not going to be calling in angels and stuff unless you've surrounded yourself with protection first. Because every time that you turn on your light with a capital L, every time you turn on your light, you're not just attracting the higher vibrating entities, you're also attracting the lower ones, all right? They see that light too, and they'll come flooding right in. And you don't want them influencing your work. You know, you only want it to be pure, beautiful, golden energy. So make sure that you call in some protection for that. Now, ways that you can use your aromatherapy. They're countless, but here's some of my favorites. You can also, before I go further, also in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link to an article that I just read today about the dangers of scented candles, okay? Avoid them. Don't go and buy your Yankee candle and think that you're getting aromatherapy. All right, they're dangerous. The best thing for you to do is make your own blends and light a plain unscented candle. And once the wax is cooled a little, put a few drops of your blend in the candle. Notice I said blend, not straight up dropping essential oil in there. It's too strong. It's too strong. You're still going to have to mix it with a carrier oil and drop it, okay? So just get yourself a little dropper bottle, all right? And you can use it like that. You can add it to your bath. Be careful that you don't slip in the oils and stuff like that. You shouldn't be having to use that much, okay? but you can always add this to your bath water. You can put it in a spray bottle and spray it on your bath, or excuse me, on your bed linen, so your pillows, your sheets, and things like that. You can spray it on your body and your hair, all around you in your subtle energy bodies, so that it's affecting all of your chakras as well. So that's another way that you can do it. You can roll it on your body with these little roller ball um, bottles, and you can roll it on your body in such a way that you're actually creating patterns, energetic patterns. Okay, so you could use sacred geometry, sigils, planetary symbols, symbols that just come to your mind that you just innately know are powerful. You can draw them anywhere on your body. You can draw specifically on chakras, forehead, on your third eye, if you want to gain clarity and insight, on your heart for love, all of that. So these roller balls really come in handy for really pinpointing and driving in that energy, okay? You can anoint yourself, again, especially your chakras that you want to activate for your intention. You can spray your aromatherapy blend on your altar tools, and on other sacred items. You can put a drop of your aromatherapy blend on your jewelry, just on your jewelry. If you are activating, this for instance is black tourmaline and Herkimer diamond, okay? So say like if I wanted to activate protection, all right, and I made a protection blend, I could put a drop of it on my black tourmaline. Just another way of increasing this aromatherapy, ingesting it, getting it into me any way I can, as well as charging up my specific, intention specific jewelry. So this list is not conclusive. There's so many other ways that you can use this, but I'm going to tell you straight up, do not actually ingest it. Okay, do not put uh, this orange essential oil in your food. Do not put even lavender. They make culinary strength. I'm not going to call them essential oils, but they're flavors, okay, for cooking, for actually ingesting through your mouth. You are going to want to use the culinary blends of oils and flavors and scents, okay? Please, please, please do not just make up an essential blend. Like if I put some hydrosol water in here and then added some lavender or even clove. If I put clove and cinnamon in here and then try to drop it on my tongue or in some water or something, that is not safe. I'm telling you straight up, please do not do that. When I talk about ingesting, I mean through inhalation or on your skin, okay? Not through your tummy. It's too caustic. It's not right. It's not right to go into your belly like that. It's external uses only. All right? Don't put it in your mouth. So that is basically, yay, it's only 30 minutes. I like to keep them at 30 minutes, but I'm always here if you have questions. And as more people get to know me and start joining me for these Wednesday wellness meetings, then, of course, we'll make them go longer because I want to make sure that I'm answering questions. If you're watching this in replay, ask the question anyway. I will get a notification, and I promise you within 24 hours, I will be answering that question, okay? I will also give you lots of links in the description of this video after I post it that will help you to understand, the dangers of scented candles. Go ahead and just move them along and make your own essential oil blends and use unscented candles and activate them that way, okay? And Also, be mindful of how you use essential oils around your pets. Birds, they will not do well if you spray aromatherapy in the air around them, okay? There are some things that are safe for cats and dogs, like lavender and a couple of other really calming, soothing ones, but make sure to check with your vet or again research it online to make sure what is safe and what is not safe for your animal friends, okay? Otherwise, still practice yourself. You could do it in a well ventilated area, outside, in your bathroom, turn on the fan, all that kind of stuff. Do not give up on this just because you feel that it's not safe. There are safe ways to practice just about everything. And I'm all about the safety. And it's very, very important that in any healing modality, that safety is paramount in your decision making. Okay. Make sure that you practice it safely. Does anybody have any questions? Carrie, if you're still with me, do you have any questions about anything I've said? Do you have any questions about aromatherapy in general or essential oils or how to use them? I love them. I use them a lot. I make a lot of um, uh, specific blends based on my client's specific needs. Okay. I don't let my client just come to me and say, oh, I want an aromatherapy blend for this. I'm like, let's talk to your spirit team and find out what you really need. All right. And then I just bring it all in. It's Totsfizz. Totsfizz was taught to me by Candace and at Divine Archetypes Essential Oils, and you guys would love her. Here is one of her blends right here that I use all the time. It's agarwood, and I add a drop or two in just about every blend that I have. And she's very, very ethical. This is not a plug. She's not sponsoring this or anything. I just love her work so much. I want you to know about her. So her name is Candace Covington. She's beautiful. Divine Archetypes Essential Oils. She's lovely. So I'll leave a link for her as well because I think you'll really like her work. She's got very, very, and actually, if you purchase from her, you may not need to make your own blend. But I will tell you this. I learned this a long, and I do mean a long time ago, probably maybe 30 years ago. I learned this. Your sacred tools, what you use for your own healing, if you make it yourself, there's way more magic to it. There is just so much more energized. As much as I love Candace's work, when I want to make a blend for myself, I still make the blend for myself. Okay. So I use her products to make that blend, but still. I make my own wands, I make my own everything. I candles, yeah. So as much as that you can do for yourself, the more impact your intention will have, the better your result will be. Okay? Just something to keep in mind. But it's always nice to have resources when we need that thing in a pinch. So, you guys, I am done with this Wellness Wednesday. I will be posting next month's topic here in the next few days. I want to make sure that that's out there because by the time I get to Heron, I'm going to take a week or so to just kind of settle in. But I want those topics to be up. And don't forget, every first Sunday of the month at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we meet here on this channel and we do a self-care ritual. We have a little moment together where we draw a card and we have a guided meditation around it. And it just sets the tone for the month, something that we can turn to when we need to be uplifted and cared for. All right? You care for millions of people every day of your life. Care for yourself as well. All right, you guys, if there is nothing else, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you here on the next first Wednesday of the month for our next Wednesday or wellness wisdom. All right, then. Good night, you guys.